You ever walk into a room and feel that heavy silence before a storm? That tension that tells you this thing is about to get real. That's the energy I bring. Not because I need your applause. I don't need you to like me. I don't give a fuck if you do. I demand that energy from you because you need it. Because when life beats the living shit out of you and there's no crowd, no lights, no safety net, what you bring in those moments is what determines if you survive or fold like a bitch. That's why I walk out and tell people to yell. That yell is your soul screaming, "I'm not dead yet, motherfucker." You think that's dramatic. You'll think different when you're crawling through life, bleeding from shit no one else sees and still fighting like a damn savage. This world doesn't reward soft. It doesn't care about your story. It rewards the ones who refuse to go down without swinging like hell. That's the realest shit I can give you. You ever been alone? Not just physically, but mentally alone. Where it feels like your mind's trying to fuck you 6 ways from Sunday. That's where I lived for a long damn time. No confidence, no purpose, no voice, just that inner bitch whispering, "Stay down." Every day I woke up with no motivation, no drive, no damn clue why I should even try. But guess what? I got the fuck up anyway. Not because I felt like it. Because I knew staying in bed was death in slow motion. The people who win in this life are the ones who move without needing to be told, without someone holding their hand. You think I needed inspiration? Fuck no, I needed results. I needed to stop being a damn excuse and start being the solution. You wait on motivation. You're already fucked. Life doesn't hand out gold stars for good intentions. Life respects one thing: execution. And when everything in you screams to quit, that's the exact moment you stand the fuck up and go again. Stop waiting for applause. Stop begging for signs. Your life doesn't change because you post some cute bullshit on Instagram. Your life changes when you decide to go all in, no matter how fucked up it feels. And guess what? It's going to feel fucked up. You're going to hurt. You're going to be tired. You're going to want to crawl in a hole and disappear. But every time you don't, every time you say fuck that and push through, you earn a little more of your soul back, piece by piece. And that's how you get dangerous. Not by being perfect, not by being lucky, but by being relentless, by showing up with nothing and still finding a way to bring war. That's how you build something that can't be broken. So when life comes swinging with all its pain and bullshit, you look it dead in the face and say, "You picked the wrong motherfucker. You think I was born with grit. You think I just came out the gate a hard motherfucker. Get the fuck out to here. I was fat, broken, dumb as shit, stuttering my way through life, hiding from everything and everyone. I didn't even know who the fuck I was." That's the real problem. Most of you are strangers to yourselves. You're hiding behind filters, behind your job title, behind what your family wants you to be. You wake up every day putting on a costume for the world, and then you wonder why you feel like shit. You wonder why you can't sleep, why you keep sabotaging every damn thing you touch. It's because deep down, you know you're full of shit. And so did I. I knew I was lying to myself every single day. So I stopped. Cold. Looked in the mirror and called myself out. You're fat. You're weak. You're scared. And if you don't change, you're going to die and nobody. That was the conversation. No affirmations, no vision board bullshit. It's just truth. I had to kill the old me. I had to rip that soft ass identity out by the fucking roots. And it hurt. It hurt like hell because comfort is addictive. Comfort's a drug. And most of you are junkies. You're hooked on easy, hooked on good enough. And let me tell you something. Good enough is the most dangerous fucking phrase in the English language. That phrase will bury your dreams alive and hand you the shovel. You don't get out of hell by making peace with it. You fight. You suffer. You bleed. I built myself one savage rep at a time. 1 mile, 1 push-up, 1 second of not quitting. I didn't wait to feel ready because I never fucking did. You don't build a savage mindset from a place of comfort. You build it from chaos, from pain, from loneliness. And every motherfucker around me thought I was crazy. Let them. I'd rather be insane and free than sane and stuck in the same sad ass loop of mediocrity for the rest of my life. The thing no one tells you is that you don't have to want it. You just have to do it. You don't need to love the process. You just need to respect it. Because if you keep waiting for the stars to align, you'll still be waiting when you're 6 feet under. Every savage you admire started by doing shit they didn't want to do. You think I wanted to run at 4 a.m. You think I enjoyed grinding while my knees were fucked up, when my lungs were shredded, when my head was screaming quit? Fuck no, I hated every second of it. But I love what it made me. That pain carved me into something dangerous, something sharp, something unbreakable. So no, I don't need your permission. I don't need you to believe in me. I need one thing. That daily decision to do what the fuck needs to be done, whether I like it or not. I was never supposed to make it. And that's exactly why I did. Every single system, every voice, every motherfucker I grew up around looked at me and saw a statistic. Fat, black, dumb, poor, abused. That's what the fuck they saw. That's what they expected. So I gave them something else. I gave them silence. I shut the fuck up and went to war. Not against them. Against me. Because the real enemy ain't out there. It's in your own head. It's that soft-ass voice that tells you to slow down, to sleep in, to take a break. That voice has destroyed more lives than poverty ever did. You want to be great. You got to kill that voice. Starve it. Drown it in discipline until it dies screaming. And even when it's gone, its ghost will still be there whispering. You don't destroy it once. You kill it every fucking day. Every morning I woke up in pain. Not just physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. Pain from the past. Pain from the weight. Pain from not knowing who the fuck I even was. And I still laced up my shoes. It still went out and bled for a future I couldn't even see yet. Because sometimes that's all you got. A brutal, blind grind with no proof it's going to work. That's when most people quit. They want guarantees. They want a sign. You ain't getting one. The work is the sign. The grind is the way. You earn belief through suffering, through repetition, through ignoring that inner coward until he shuts the fuck up. That's the process. You don't manifest greatness. You beat it out of yourself in the dark. One rep, one breath, one brutal day at a time. And if you're not ready for that, get the fuck out of the way. People talk about balance. Fuck balance. What the fuck did balance ever do for you? A balance is for people who haven't been to hell and back. When you're trying to escape the pit, when you're climbing out of generations of trauma, weakness, excuses, balance ain't gonna save you. Obsession will. Discipline will. Violence of action will. You want a better life. Then stop negotiating with yourself. You do what has to be done even when every cell in your body is screaming no. And you do it again tomorrow. You don't need a 10-year plan. You need to survive today without backing down. That's how you become dangerous. That's how you become a motherfucker the world can't break. Listen, man, people love to talk about their dreams like they already earned that shit. They say things like, one day I'll do this. Or when I'm ready, I'll start. Motherfucker, you ain't never going to be ready. That's the lie you tell yourself to stay safe and to stay average. I've seen that lie kill more potential than any bullet ever could. You either start now or you keep lying to yourself until you rot in regret. You want to know when the right time is. Right fucking now. The world ain't waiting on your perfect conditions. It's chewing up weaker men while you're still mapping out your imaginary plan. You want to build something real. You show up right in the middle of your mess, your pain, your confusion. And you put in that fucking work like your life depends on it. Because it fucking does. The only reason I made it is because I stopped running from pain and started chasing it. I made pain my training partner. I let it beat my ass, drag me through the dirt, test every fiber of my being. And then I showed back up the next day and asked for more. You don't become a savage by choosing what's easy. You become one by walking straight into the fire and standing there until everything weak inside you burns away. Pain has a way of exposing truth. You can fake smiles, fake hustle, fake social media posts, but pain shows the fuck up and says, let's see what you're really about. And most of you crumble because you never trained for it. You avoid it. You hide from it. And then you're shocked when life bitch slaps you and you can't handle it. Don't be surprised. Be ready. If you want to be the kind of motherfucker who people look to when the building's burning, you better start acting like it right now. Stop waiting for tragedy to make you strong. Stop waiting for rock bottom to wake you up. Start building your fire before the storm hits. When everyone else is panicking, breaking down, losing their shit, that's when you rise. That's when you fucking lead. You don't build leadership in boardrooms. You build that shit in the mud, in the rain, in the fucking chaos when no one's watching and everything's falling apart. So ask yourself, when the pressure's on, when everyone's losing their minds, are you going to be the one who folds or the one who fucking carries the whole team on your back? Look, man, people keep acting like they've got time. There's some magic clock that's going to tell them when it's finally time to level up. Let me make this shit real clear. Time doesn't owe you a damn thing. Every second you waste is one you'll never fucking get back. You sitting around waiting for the right moment is how average becomes permanent. That clock is ticking and you're bullshitting with your potential. Every day you hit snooze, every day you scroll instead of sweat. Every day you hide instead of hunt. That's death in slow motion. You want to change your life. Then you better move like you're being hunted because guess what? You are. Life is out to break your ass and it's damn good at it. So you either get ahead of it or you get buried by it. That's your choice. You ain't stuck. You're just comfortable. And that comfort, that's the enemy. Kill that shit before it kills you. You think discipline is punishment. Nah. Discipline is freedom, motherfucker. Discipline is what gets your ass out to bed when your body says no. Discipline is what feeds your family when your feelings want to fuck off and quit. You don't rise by doing what you feel like. You rise by doing what has to be done, no matter how tired, how broken, or how sick of it you are. I didn't get here because I wanted it more than you. I got here because I was willing to suffer more than you. Willing to bleed for the win. Discipline don't feel good in the moment. It feels like hell. But long term, it builds a savage. And when life throws its worst, discipline is what stands there and says, "Thou you got, bitch, and you want to be strong." Then stop being a slave to how you feel. Strength ain't a vibe. Strength is earned in repetition, in silence, and sweat. No one's clapping for you. Clap for your damn self. You want the truth. Most people don't actually want to be great. They want to look like they're chasing greatness. There's a difference. Posting a quote ain't the same as living that shit. Wearing the hoodie, reading the book, watching the motivation video, that's foreplay. The real work starts when the camera's off and it's just you, the darkness, and the grind. Greatness doesn't come from announcements. It comes from obsession, from being willing to bleed, to break, to go so far past your limits that you scare your old self to death. You want to be remembered. You better start doing shit worth remembering. That means going beyond discipline, beyond effort. That means choosing the path with no applause, no guarantees, and still fucking owning every inch of it. This world don't owe you legacy. You build that shit with your hands, your pain, and your refusal to back the fuck down. Hey, look, man, stop acting like your struggle makes you special. Everyone's fighting something. Everyone's got a story. You're not the only one who came from shit, who got hurt, who's tired, who's been pushed around by life. But here's the difference. Most people stay there. They stay broken, stay bitter, stay waiting for someone to feel sorry for them. That ain't power. That's weakness in disguise. Pain is not your excuse. It's your weapon, but only if you decide to use it. You sit in your trauma long enough, it becomes a fucking comfort zone. You start identifying with it. You start saying, this is just who I am. Fuck that. Who you are is who you choose to be in spite of what's happened to you. I didn't get to where I am because life was kind. I got here because I took every fucked up thing that ever happened to me and turned it into fuel. That's how you win. You build fire from ashes. You know what people fear more than failure? The fucking mirror. That's the scariest place on earth. Because when it's just you and that reflection, there's no one else to blame. No more distractions. And no more fake affirmations, just truth. I stared into that mirror every day and said, you're weak. And you're lazy. You're full of shit. And then I did something about it. Most of you can't even look at yourselves for 5 seconds without flinching. You've built a whole life around avoiding that reflection. But that's where growth starts, in the confrontation. And you want change. Then get real. Call yourself out. Admit where you're fucking up. And then go fix it. That mirror don't lie, man. It's the most honest thing you'll ever face. And it'll keep showing you the same weak version of yourself until you finally decide to change that motherfucker 1 rep, 1 mile, one savage choice at a time. Everybody wants to talk about haters. Oh, they don't support me. They don't believe in me. Shut the fuck up. They're supposed to doubt you as fuel. You don't need validation. You need repetition. Stop talking about who ain't clapping. Start stacking results so loud they can't ignore you. I had people laugh in my face, recruiters tell me to give up, teachers saying I'd never amount to shit, family that didn't understand the grind. So what? Let them talk. Let them doubt. Let them sleep. While they're watching, you're working. While they're partying, you're building. And one day you'll be so far ahead they won't even recognize the savage you became. But you better remember who the fuck you did it for. Not them, you. You did it because you refused to let their weak ass opinions define your fucking legacy. Look, man, if you keep waiting for someone to come and fix your life, you're already fucked. No one's coming. No mentor, no coach, no guru, no parent, no damn superhero is showing up to save your sorry ass. This ain't a movie. It's war. And in war, you don't wait for help. You adapt, you move, you fight with what you got. The sooner you kill the fantasy that someone's going to pull you out of your mess, the sooner you start building yourself into the kind of motherfucker who doesn't need saving. And you got problems, good. Solve them. You feel stuck. Good. Break the fuck out. You don't know how. Even better. Figure it out. That's the process. You want to be proud of yourself and earn that shit. The real you gets revealed in chaos, not comfort. And most of you are still waiting for life to be fair before you go all in. Wake the fuck up. Fair doesn't exist. Only results do. You ever notice how people act like their excuses are facts? They walk around saying shit like, I can't do it because I've got kids, or I can't train because my schedule's tight, or I just don't have time. That's all weakness wearing a disguise. Your schedule isn't the problem. Your priorities are. I've seen people with broken bodies, full-time jobs, no support system, grinding every damn day like their life depends on it. And then I've seen people with every advantage in the world throw it all away because they're soft inside. And your circumstances don't define you. And your standards do. And your standards are low as fuck if you keep blaming your life for your lack of progress. You don't fix that by journaling or meditating. You fix it by taking action while it's still hard, while it still hurts, while everything in you is screaming to quit. You fix it by becoming the kind of savage who doesn't negotiate with difficulty. He crushes it. Some of you need to hear this. You are your own worst enemy. It's not your boss, not your past, not your childhood. It's you. You've built your entire mindset around limits. You believe you're stuck. You believe you're broken. You believe the pain means stop. It doesn't. Pain is a signal, not a sentence. It's there to shape you, not stop you. The more you run from it, the more you train your brain to be a fucking coward. And then you wonder why nothing changes. You wonder why your dreams stay dreams. It's because you gave the wheel to fear, and now you're just a passenger in your own damn life. Take the wheel back. Drive that bitch straight into the storm. Hit the gas you want out. You better go through hell and make sure it remembers your name. Look, man, most people never reach their potential because they're too busy trying to fit in with weak motherfuckers. You surround yourself with average. You become average. That's how it works. You think iron sharpens iron. That's real. But most of you are sitting in circles made of plastic. Fake effort, fake accountability, fake goals. You got people clapping for your bullshit and calling it progress. That's not support. That's sabotage in disguise. If your circle doesn't call you out when you're slacking, if they don't challenge your comfort, if they don't hold you to the savage you claim to be, you don't have a circle, you got a soft-ass safety net. Cut them off. I don't give a fuck if they're family. I don't care how long you've known them. If they ain't pushing you, they're pulling you down. They build a new tribe or walk this path alone. But either way, stop letting weak energy drain your mission. If you want to be elite, then stop looking for fucking balance and start living in obsession. Obsession is what separates the beast from the background noise. You don't get to greatness with a part-time mindset. You think I became who I am by working out when I felt like it, by running when the sun was out and the temperature was perfect. Get the fuck out to here. I trained when I was sick, when I was bleeding, when I had nothing left. Because obsession doesn't give a fuck about convenience. It's not supposed to. You want real results. Then you need to be unreasonable. You need to be the kind of savage who doesn't just want it, who needs it, who breathes it, who bleeds for it. That's the mindset that takes average and turns it into unstoppable. And until you hit that level of intensity, you're just another soft talker trying to impress people who don't even give a fuck. And let's be clear, none of this is about being motivated. I don't give a damn how motivated you feel. Motivation is like a fart in the wind. Here for a second, gone the next. You build success on discipline, obsession, and the willingness to suffer when nobody's watching. That's where greatness grows. In the reps no one sees, in the decisions no one claps for. If you're still depending on hype to move, you're not serious. If you need someone to pat you on the back every time you show up, you're not ready. The real ones don't need validation. They validate themselves in silence. They do the work when no one's watching and smile while everyone else sleeps. So before you go talking about your goals again, ask yourself one thing. Am I doing this for me? Or am I just trying to be seen? If it's not for you, it's already dead. Look, man, the reason most of you are stuck is because you keep quitting too fucking soon. Every time it gets uncomfortable, every time it gets a little bit ugly, you tap out. You think that pain means it's time to stop. No, motherfucker, that's when it's time to start. That's when the real work begins. The second shit gets hard. Your brain hits panic mode. That inner bitch starts whispering, this isn't for you. You're not built for this. And you believe it. You hand over the wheel to weakness and coast right back to mediocrity. You know how many times I wanted to quit? Every fucking day. And I still do. But I made a decision. I don't negotiate with weakness. I don't give that soft voice one fucking inch. Because the second you do, it'll take the whole damn mile. That's how it works, one compromise at a time. And then you wake up one day wondering why your life still looks the same. I'll tell you why. Because every time shit got real, you ran. You keep looking for hacks, for secrets, for faster ways to the top. There are none. There is only pain and repetition and the decision to keep going when every cell in your body is screaming to quit. That's the difference. Not talent. Not genetics, not luck, decisions. Do you stay in the fight or not? That's it. The real savages aren't out here smiling and preaching inspiration. They're in the shadows, bleeding, working, grinding, dying in silence for something that most people wouldn't even fucking understand. That's what this takes. And if you can't sit with the suck, if you can't embrace that long stretch of boring, painful, lonely work, then keep dreaming because that's all it'll ever be. A dream. Meanwhile, the real ones are too busy dying for it to talk about it. That's why they win. They don't ask for shortcuts. They become the standard. You think you're failing because it's hard. That's the process, dumbass. It's supposed to break you. It's supposed to fuck with your head, your heart, your will, because that's how it reveals who the fuck you really are. You say you want to be great, but the first sign of pain and you start making excuses. It's too much. I'm overwhelmed. Maybe this isn't for me. Shut the fuck up. That pain you're feeling, that's growth. That's the old version of you dying so the savage can be born. But you've got to stay in it. You've got to take the hit, spit blood, and get back in the fight. That's where greatness is forged. Not in some cozy ass motivational quote, but in the mud, in the cold, in the silence, when no one's watching and you decide to keep fucking going anyway. Look, man, if you want to be unstoppable, you've got to stop chasing comfort like it's some kind of prize. Comfort is a trap. It lulls you in, softens your edge, makes you forget you were born for war. That warm bed, that easy option, that lazy excuse. It all feels good until you're broke, weak, and full of regret. Comfort is the silent killer of greatness. And here's the fucked up part. Most of you are addicted to it. You talk like you want to change, but your actions scream, keep me safe. You say you want to level up, but the second shit burns, you pull back. That's why you're stuck. That's why you keep starting over. You haven't made suffering your friend yet. You still think you're too good to struggle. And as long as that mindset lives inside you, you'll always tap out when it counts. You want to change your life. Kill the comfort. Seek the shit that breaks you and do it until it doesn't. Every single one of you has another gear, but most will never touch it because you're too scared to dig that deep. You think you've hit your limit? You haven't even scratched the surface. You don't know pain until you're on your knees, bleeding, crying, puking, and still telling yourself, we go again. That's when you meet the real you, that savage hiding under the weakness. And most of why all are scared to meet that motherfucker, because he'll make you face everything you've been running from. But that's where power lives. That's where peace comes from. Not fake peace, not lazy peace, but earned peace. The kind of peace that only shows up when you put your body and mind through hell and came out stronger. You want confidence, you want respect. And go fucking earn it. Sweat for it, bleed for it, break for it. And when you do, you'll walk different, talk different, breathe different. Because you'll finally know what the fuck you're made of. There is no destination. You don't wake up one day and say, I made it. This shit is forever. The moment you think you've arrived, the game will gut you. Because someone out there is still hungry, is still grinding, is still getting after it like their life depends on it. And guess what? It does, just like yours does. So why the fuck are you coasting? Why are you letting wins from last month justify weakness today? I don't give a fuck what you did yesterday. And what are you doing right now? Because the second you ease up, the second you get soft, the second you stop respecting the mission, you're done. This mindset ain't seasonal. It's a lifestyle. And if you don't commit to it every day, it'll chew you up and spit you out like every other wannabe who talked big and folded under pressure. Look, man, if you still got energy to complain, you still got energy to work. You whining about how hard it is, while some savage out there is using your excuses as fuel. That's the difference between the ones who get it and the ones who fucking dream about it. I don't want to hear about your schedule, your stress, your bullshit, or we've all got storms. The only question is, do you let the storm drown you? Or do you become the motherfucker who walks through it like it's nothing? I didn't become this by coasting. I became this by suffering, by pushing when it didn't make sense, by dumping every ounce of energy I had into the mission. That's what taking souls is. It's not about being better. It's about breaking them mentally. It's about showing up in the worst conditions and dominating like it's your playground. They see pain. You see opportunity. They back off, you go harder. That's how you break people without even touching them. When I say take souls, I ain't talking about being flashy. I'm talking about showing people what relentless looks like. When you outwork everyone around you so bad that they start questioning their own fucking existence, that's power. I've had motherfuckers look at me in the middle of Hell Week and just quit. Not because I said a word. Not because I touched them. Just because they saw I wasn't stopping. That's what a savage does. He exposes weakness by simply refusing to break. That's how you lead. Not by yelling, not by preaching. By being the standard when everything around you is collapsing. And your presence becomes pressure. And you walk in the room and they feel it because they know you didn't skip the pain. You lived in it, you thrived in it. And you came out harder, colder, more focused than anyone else. That's what leadership looks like when you're building real strength. Not pretend shit. Real earned, savage strength. So you think you've earned the right to slow down because you had a good week, because you hit some goal that doesn't mean shit in the long run. Nah, motherfucker, that's the trap. That's how most of you fall off. You confuse progress with permission. You think a little win means you've arrived. That's when the beast in you starts dying. One lazy day at a time. You want to stay dangerous and stay hungry. Every fucking day. Find new reasons to suffer, new ways to stretch your limits. Don't just work when you're inspired. Work when you're dead tired. Work when no one's watching. Work when every part of you wants to quit. That's how you stay a savage. That's how you make sure the pain you went through wasn't for nothing. This life ain't about feeling good. It's about being ready when it's time to go to war. Look, man, everybody wants to win until it's time to do what winning requires. They love the idea of success, but they hate the sacrifice. They want the glory, but they can't handle the grind. That's why they stay average. Because average feels safe. Average gives you just enough to get by without bleeding for it. But that shit ain't for me. And it sure as fuck shouldn't be for you. You're not here to be just good enough. You're here to be undeniable. And that means you're going to suffer. You're going to be lonely. You're going to be misunderstood. But that's the tax. That's the toll you pay to be great. You want a life that feels earned and bleed for it. Crawl through it, grind through it. You think the pain's the problem. Nah, the lack of pain is. That's where softness grows. That's where dreams go to die. You want something different. Then you better start moving like a motherfucker who's got everything to prove and nothing to lose. You ever wonder why most people never change? It's because they'd rather stay in predictable pain than face the unknown. They'd rather keep suffering in silence than risk breaking out and failing in public. And I get it. That's just terrifying. But you know what's worse? Waking up 10 years from now in the same place with the same excuses and realizing you never had the balls to try. That's the pain you should fear. The pain of regret. The pain of potential wasted. You don't need more time, more money, or more motivation. You need more courage. Courage to bet on yourself. Courage to burn the fucking bridge and not look back. The moment I stopped waiting for life to give me something and started taking it. That's when everything changed. Not because I had the perfect plan, but because I finally understood. Playing it safe is the most dangerous move you can make. And stop thinking your story disqualifies you. Your pain, your trauma, your failures. That's not your weakness. That's your fucking fuel. I was broken. I was slow. I was invisible. But I used all of it. Every ounce of humiliation. Every fucked up chapter. Every time I got laughed at or counted out. I turned that into fire. Into drive. Into something that made me impossible to kill. That's the mindset you need. You don't run from your story. You own it and you weaponize it. You make that shit work for you. You don't need a perfect past. You need a savage present. And that starts right now in this moment with this choice. Are you going to keep running from your struggle, or are you going to stand the fuck up and become everything that pain was trying to prepare you for? Look, man, when chaos hits, most people break. They fall the fuck apart because they never trained for that moment. They train for comfort. They train for routine. For routine, they train for everything to go right. But when life flips the switch and throws hell at you, what do you got left? You got panic. You got excuses. You got the same weak-ass fallback plan that's failed you 100 times. I trained for the storm. I lived in it. I became it. That's why I lead when the world crumbles. That's why people look to me when shit gets ugly. Because they know I've already been through worse. I don't flinch. I don't fold. I fucking thrive in chaos. And that's not a gift. That's a decision. I made a decision to suffer more than anyone else. So when the time came, I'd be the baddest motherfucker in the room without even saying a word. That's leadership. That's earned. You think people follow you because of what you say. Nah. They follow you because of what you endure. When you're in the mud, when everything's broken and you're still moving, that's when they see who you really are. That's what inspires them. Not your speeches, not your fucking Instagram posts. It's how you show up when there's no hope left, when there's no applause, and the only thing keeping you going is the voice in your head that says, we don't fucking quit. I remember being in that boat crew, cold, broken, soaked in salt water, and still pushing harder than anyone else. Not because I was stronger. Because I refused to be broken. I took their souls one by one just by showing them I wouldn't stop. And you can do that too. Not by being the loudest, but by being the last one standing when everyone else drops. Here you want respect. You want to lead. Then you better stop waiting for conditions to be perfect and start getting after it when everything's fucked. You don't get remembered for how well you did when things were easy. You get remembered for how savage you were when shit hit the fan. That's the test. That's where warriors are made. And not in the gym, not in the classroom, but in the fire, in the cold, in the fucking pressure. So next time life slams you to the ground, don't bitch. Smile. Get the fuck back up. Because this is the proving ground. This is the battlefield where you earn the right to call yourself relentless. And if you ain't ready for that, then move the fuck out to the way for someone who is. Look, man, you keep waiting for motivation like it's going to knock on your door and drag your ass into greatness. That's not how this shit works. Motivation is a liar. It'll hype you up today and leave you stranded tomorrow. You know what's real? Doing the work when you don't feel like it. Showing up when you're pissed, broken, exhausted, and still punching that clock like a savage. That's what separates the fakes from the real ones. Most of you want this shit to be easy. And you want the transformation without the torment. You want the results without the fucking pain. But pain is the tax you pay to level up. And guess what? It's not one time. It's every damn day. You either pay it with sweat, blood, and sacrifice, or you pay it later with regret, weakness, and the life you never fucking earned. Either way, you will pay. So make the choice right now. Are you going to suffer for growth or suffer for staying the same? The reason most of you never break through is because you're too fucking focused on how you feel. You wait to feel ready. You wait to feel good. You wait until the vibe is perfect, until the stars line up, until the universe sends you a damn sign. Let me give you the only sign you need. Your life is on fire, motherfucker, and you're sitting there watching it burn. That's the truth. And you're wasting time waiting for clarity instead of creating it. You don't build confidence by thinking. You build it by doing, by showing up again and again until your actions bury your doubts. You ain't stuck. You're just scared. In that fear, that hesitation, that's the enemy. That's the little voice trying to kill your greatness in silence. And every time you listen to it, you hand over another piece of your fucking soul. Take it back. Move. Now. Stop telling yourself you're tired. Stop acting like you deserve rest when you haven't earned the war yet. People say don't burn out. Motherfucker, I want to burn. I want to go so fucking hard that I melt down and rebuild stronger. That's how I grow. That's how I keep evolving while everyone else flatlines. Okay, you want to be remembered. Then do something worth remembering. Do the hard shit. Do the shit no one else wants to do. Run when it's cold. Lift when you're broken. Work when no one gives a fuck. Because in the end, there's no reward for almost. There's no medal for intentions. There's just the result. And it's either earned through savage effort or lost in lazy excuses. Decide who the fuck you are. Then go prove it. Look, man, you don't rise by playing defense your whole life. Playing it safe, avoiding risk, protecting your comfort. That's how people die with regret pumping through their veins. And you want to win. Then step into the fire. Step into the unknown. Get your hands dirty. Most of you talk about greatness like it's a fucking birthright. It's not. It's war. And the price. And your ego, your excuses, your comfort. You think you're grinding, but the second things get uncertain, you pull back. That's not grind. That's fear wearing a hustle t-shirt. Or you want to be elite. Then lean into that fear. Chase it. Let it punch you in the face. Then stand up and swing back harder. Because the ones who build legacies don't run from the unknown. They become fucking monsters inside it. That's where transformation lives. Not in control. Not in certainty. In chaos. In pain. In the decision to walk straight into the dark and say, I'm built for this shit. You ever wonder why some people just keep rising no matter what hits them? It's because they stopped asking, why me? And started saying, try me. Life knocks, they answer. Pain comes, they smile. They don't sit around waiting for inspiration. They create it. You want to know the mindset of a savage. It's this. No matter what happens, I don't fucking stop. That's it. That's the whole game. Resilience isn't about pretending to be tough. It's about refusing to die easy. You got bills, stress, injuries, betrayal. Welcome to the fucking club. None of it matters if you keep showing up. You can't kill a motherfucker who doesn't quit. That's the truth. You don't need a perfect life. You need perfect effort, daily. On the good days, on the shit days, on the I can't fucking do this anymore days, especially on those days, that's when savages are born. The difference between a warrior and everyone else is simple. The warrior chooses to fight. Most people avoid the struggle. They hide from the work. They pray for an easy way out. But the warrior, he runs toward it. He knows that pain is the price of evolution. That breaking is the beginning of rebuilding. That suffering isn't punishment. It's the path. And every time you take that path, you earn a little more of who the fuck you were meant to be. You sharpen your edge, you kill the weakness. You stop negotiating with life and start dominating it. That's the real flex. Not how much money you got, not how many followers you got, but how fucking hard you hit when life hits first. So next time it does, smile and swing back twice as hard. stay hard.